At 7 p.m. on August 1st, a soldier in military uniform held up a banner on the rooftop of a building on Beijing's Wangfujing pedestrian street. Now, for those of you who don't know, Wangfujing is like one of the top like tourist spots in Beijing.
Yes.
Whenever you see those people eating scorpions and seahorses and stuff, it gets done here.
Yep.
All right. Accusing the Guangdong district government of Kunming, Yunnan, of killing soldiers who had served in the army for 12 years and were about to be demobilized. All right. So to have this kind of a public display, yeah, you can see it. It's kind of hard to see in the video footage, but you can see he's up there, right?
Yeah.
There you can see the photo of him with this banner. If you do something like this in China, some kind of public protest, that's it, you're done.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often because it's such a bad thing, especially for a military person to do this. He's done.
Yeah.
But there's a reason for this. There's a reason why somebody would do this.
Yes.
Right? Especially in such a public area. You're screwed, dude.
Dude, this doesn't happen.
No.
This guy's high up enough to have this knowledge, right?
Yes. And it's because she has been, purging.
Oh my
basically.
gosh. The military purges have been crazy. If you read any military blogs or actually any of these mainstream articles, this one's down below. The amount of reform that's happening within the military because of the serious corruption, which anyone knows in China, like anyone in China, ask any Chinese person, they know these generals and these people in the PLA, how much power they wield.
From every single level of the PLA, from the guy who has to cook the pig for the mess hall, he is corrupt.
Yes.
And when he goes out to buy the pig, he buys the expired meat and gets the kickback. Every single level, but it's his sergeant told him to do that, by the way. Every single level is corrupt and just on the take. So obviously there's a lot of problems. And this guy's unit was probably like, you guys are a bunch of corrupt,
we don't know.
People, get out of here.
We don't know.
It could have been unfairly targeted. And it is always unfair to target anyone in the military because they're all corrupt.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Well, the whole government apparatus in China is corrupt.
Yeah.
And it's not even individuals' fault at that point. The whole system is like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So
it's just whoever they don't like. They're like, okay, you want to say that? We'll just open up a corruption probe.
That's true.
And they're like, oh man, we're screwed now.
You know what's not corrupt is to click the like button on the stream. So please do. It's free. Make sure you get our likes up and we can continue. Moving on.
Love that. We are moving on.
Something very similar.
Yes. Do we all remember Bannerman?
Bannerman.
It's
not Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Sitong Bridge in Beijing. It was a man unfurled a banner.
Yes.
And it had all these demands about like democracy for China, get rid of autocracy, all this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now
Xi Jinping stepped down.
that kind of stuff, like harsh stuff that was in the white paper protest, that kind of stuff that do get you wiped away in China, right?
And it did get him wiped away.
Yes. So
his entire family's still under house
disappeared.
arrest.
His entire family and his children in, I believe, is in Heilongjiang or Jilin, I can't remember, are under house arrest. The children are under house arrest, so that people can't talk to anyone. I guess people have tried to like send journalists, or I can't remember if BBC or someone tried to interview with them. They get shooed away. Yeah,
so we have a copycat here.
There was a copycat in Hunan who unfurled the same banner.
Same banner on a bridge. Yeah.
On a bridge. I guess this guy was somehow related to the white paper protests in Shanghai. Remember when everyone was holding up the white papers in Shanghai during the COVID lockdowns?
That white paper protest is what broke the camel's back. That's what turned the tide and made the government give up on the stupid zero COVID policy.
Honestly, because it was so worrying that remember the Xinjiang fire?
Yes.
And the white paper protests, this stuff started, especially in universities, cropping up around the country, and they're like, the worst thing that China wants is like domestic upheaval.
Because, the thing is, Chinese people, they 吃苦, as we say, which is eat bitter. They're very good at suffering and just putting up with things. And they'll put up with things no matter how terrible they are for the longest time. But when they stop putting up with it, that's when you got to worry. Well, the government has to worry anyway.
Yes.
And so with the white paper protests, that's when they decided, okay, you know what? If we don't stop these lockdowns as inhumane, where we're forcing people to stay in their apartments for months now.
That's correct.
And not allowed to get out, and we have to force them to test every day. If we don't stop this now, things are going to go south. So they stopped it.
Stop me.
They actually, it's almost overnight they changed it.
Yes. Yeah, it's crazy.
Anyway,
there's...
So the thing is, allegedly, we'll show a picture or a little clip of the guy who did this. Allegedly, yeah. I mean, to do something like this, by the way, in China is...
it's
suicide.
Yeah.
It's suicide, but it's incredibly brave.
Yeah.
大家好，我叫方奕荣，是
So there's a little transcript of what he said here. If you want to take a screenshot, run it through Google Translate yourself, you can.
Or just look it up because it's on Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got it from Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
But this guy is the guy who put it up, and apparently he was part of the white paper protests, and he's been persecuted and all this stuff, so he's just standing up.
Yeah, so the people posting are saying that this is the dude that did the banner.
Please take a look for yourself.
这个参与过白纸运动的
I just want to say I respect the courage of this young man to stand up and do something like that, specifically in the face of the very harsh penalties that come along with it.
Yeah. National ID system, there's a great article below. I'll just briefly go over this. There is a national internet ID system that the Chinese government's trying to start, meaning that right now, China's got a full Great Firewall that protects it from the outside world. So you can't go on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, right? We already know that. China's a censored country. It's like North Korea, but with the internet, but it's fully censored. They have their own ecosystem that they can monitor. That being said, as much control as they have, it'd be a lot easier if every person had to have a ID card that they use when they go on anything. So if they use any internet service, everything they do is monitored through their national ID card.
You know, it kind of is already.
It is already, but imagine if it was just that much more intertwined. If you're on the internet, it's everything you post has your ID, your internet ID, so it can be traced to you.
Well, let me explain to you currently how it is. If you go to an internet cafe, which a lot of people go to the internet cafe to use computers there and play games and stuff. If you go, you must use your national ID card in order to use the computers there. And so it links any activity that you do on that computer is linked to your ID card. So if you go to a banned website or you leave a comment that's against the government, they can link it to your ID card. Your ID card's linked to every aspect of your life.
Yes.
You cannot escape. But the other thing is when you buy your SIM card for your phone or your service for your internet, you have to use your ID card too.
Yeah.
So your phone data, everything you do on your phone is linked to your ID card too. So you're already in a position where it's almost impossible to have anonymous internet access.
For sure, but this is more about streamlining it even further, right?
Right.
To have if you're on a forum, this is more about like you're on Weibo, or you're on a forum or something, or you're leaving a comment somewhere.
But they know that already.
You're right, but not every website is making you do that. If you leave a comment and you think you're anonymous on some forum, that's gone now, right? This national ID system, it covers it really well in the article.
Okay, good. So you've linked that in the description?
Yes.
Well, obviously they just want to make it even more dystopian,
Correct.
so they'll know
Doesn't matter
anyway.
if they can do it. It's about making their job easier.
Yeah, it's true.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
It's the reality, right? They're trying to do this.
You know, just this reminded me of something. There's a guy we know, a foreigner who used to work, that we knew, and he was in China and he was kind of doing these illegal jobs, on the side, working for training centers and stuff. He'd go. And he got called in by the police. They took the SIM card out of his phone, remember? And then they got all this data. And they had been tracking his entire movements, like where he was at certain times a day. And they asked, what are you doing in this building all day?
Yeah.
And what are you doing in this building all day? They have everything
When you say
sorted
illegal
out.
jobs, he was teaching
Yes.
out of contract.
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to make extra
Because
money.
in China, when you get a job teaching English, for instance, you're only allowed to work for the school or the training center that's given you that permit. But you get so many offers from private training centers and from private individuals who say, come teach our kids, and they organize groups. He was doing stuff like that. It's not like he was dealing drugs or anything, but I'm just saying they're very good at tracking and finding out exactly where everything is. But, when it happens to someone that someone who is arrogant about it all, someone who is like, nah, they don't do this tracking, he got so shocked he left China the next day.
He did, yeah.
All right? And the fact that this happened and he explained it to us, just gives you a wake-up call.
True. I feel like hospitals are dirtier than the average building in China.
If you ever wanted to see filth and the lowest humanity can sink to,
So they run in there and they're like, no, mine.
yeah.
No, I'm getting it.
If you go and sit down and the doctor wants to tell you you've got an STD or something, you don't want the whole world to know.
But they will know in China.
yeah, and the wall behind him looks sicker than he is. The doctor comes out with a bag of some disgusting thing that got cut out or whatever, and he's like, look, here it is.
Oh, the worst was when I saw the jars of fetuses go by.
Dude.
Streak of blood. Like someone cut someone's artery.
Yeah, and it goes like, that is just,
still
dude,
one of the worst.
that's just,
Oh.
man, that makes me feel
I
gross.
wish I had deleted that.
Close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And my mind works.